perhaps in the past we've had a balance, and at the moment we are seeing a change in that balance. If you go back to the American founding fathers, there was a concern with preventing tyranny and the over-influence of what they called faction, infighting, versus they wanted to promote, at least a large number of them, a certain faction of them, wanted to promote energy in the executive, i.e. leadership, what we would call leadership today.
What is urgently needed is a leadership, both within the WTO and among the important stakeholders that can revitalize the multilateral treating system of the WTO. As a stable, well-functioning WTO that is based on the rule of law is a public good that brings predictability and accountability in global trade. Especially in economically difficult times like today, the world needs to guard itself against rising protectionism so as to avoid the path to complete disaster.
In Japanese setting, I think that this title should be perhaps revised into that desperately searching for that leadership in the thick of crisis. As we may see another collapse of a Japanese incumbent government in the foreseeable future, we have had already 6 prime ministers shuffling them, being reshuffled in the past 5 years or so. So it really reveals that the crisis at large in Japan. That 3/11 moment actually has posed a very much critical question to the Japanese. What kind of leadership we really need? And some have strongly argued for strong leadership. That has been conspicuously lacking in Japan's politics.
Without the old-fashioned green room approach to global trade, we are not going to solve the Doha problem. The green room approach broke down famously in Seattle during the Clinton administration. But in fact, we need these core groups. We need these leading groups that can take some decisions, understand that not all countries are going to go along with it, but provide that kind of motivation. When you look at areas where we've had success in the international level, whether it's dealing with money laundering through the Financial Action Task Force, or some of these more innovative approaches to semi-formal decision-making where a small number of leaders can exert that kind of vision and try to move the process forward, that is going to be critical. And we have to accept the fact that these don't meet the formal models of legitimacy that, have everybody gets a voice, everybody gets a vote. But unless we can try to develop those tools of innovation where groups of countries can take the agenda forward without trying to solve the problem of the least common denominator, we aren't going to be able to tackle the challenges of those times. And so what we've seen, for example, in trying to deal with the North Korea problem is that this, for all its difficulties in moving forward, getting a small number of key countries to take responsibility for it offers a much greater chance of moving this forward than trying to use formal institutions.